Should be live. Just
You gotta double check, like Andrews does.
I do have to
Andrews
double
always
check.
takes like 2 minutes to double check.
He makes a big show.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
really fun.
3 people watching. That's huge. Huge. That's a big pull.
I don't like that we all did that.
All right.
Yeah, I instinctively did the same thing.
That was weird. That was weird.
All right, so welcome to the episode 2 post show. We have some fantastic guests. To my right or left, I don't know directions. We have Mel, the vice president. You'll see her in some of the footage later on in the season. She helps
episode
out.
1.
Exactly. And we also have Ryan, Survivor Yukon's host for seasons 1 through 3. We have Cooper, Survivor's So we have Cooper, Survivor Michigan's host, and we have Aaron, Survivor Michigan player. So we'll get straight into the good stuff. Survivor Snakes and Secrets, episode 2. I've still got a lot of work to do. So we jump off the bat with Hannah kind of talking to the other people in the cast, or the other people on her tribe, because she just got off of a vote 8-1 right at Tribal Council. She told people, hey, if you trust me, vote for Aaron. Do you trust me? I think there was a vlog with Erica. She was like, do you trust me? If you trust me, vote for Aaron. What were your guys' views on that? Or Hannah in general?
So I think to me, I think on a surface level, that move was good and voting out Aaron was good. I just don't know why she did it last minute. I feel like she could have communicated with people and she had the social connections and the social viability that it would have happened. They would have been like, hey, don't really not clicking or not don't like the way Aaron's vibing with us. It'll go down. It seems like if they're willing to do it at Tribal, then they're definitely willing. Like they were willing to put their trust and flip on Aaron and not just be like, screw you, Hannah, why are we changing this last minute? So there was some trust and some good social bonds made there. It just now it's like everyone's like, okay, this happened. Why? Why did it happen now? Why was this a Tribal thing? So
Yep.
Go
Completely
ahead.
agree. Okay, cool. Well, while we're on the topic of Hannah, I will just say that she is far and away at this point, I think at least, the best character, like in terms of entertainment in the cast, like far and away for sure. Yeah, like Ryan said, I think she could have done everything earlier, but also that being said, she's a good enough player that clearly like her damage control was also very good. Like she ended up then swinging back and like voting with those same people, and it seemed totally normal. Like it didn't seem like they were that sus. So she's playing fine. Like she's playing super, super hard out of the gate, which is going to catch up to her. Like it's literally just going to. But in terms of like being able to like control things on that tribe for now, like she's doing a fantastic job. So
It already is catching up to her though. But like it already is catching up to her. Her name was out there this Tribal. She could have potentially gone home this Tribal if Erica, Austin, and Mike, who honestly I think that's my favorite alliance right now, is those 3. I really like those 3. But if those 3 had any social capital with anybody on the other side, Hannah would have gone home this week. But they didn't build that up. So like Hannah did position herself in the middle. But in my opinion, she played that so wrong. Because she did make it clear to those 3 that she's like, hey, I can really do whatever I want. I'm the one in control here. And like it's not that they like if somebody leans over to you in the middle of Tribal and you're like, do you trust me? And they're your ally, like what are you gonna say? No? Like
yeah.
You know, it would be completely ridiculous. So she just saw her opportunity to kind of like that didn't have to be a unanimous vote. She just made that happen so that those people didn't feel on the bottom. But what she's doing is placing them on the bottom because she would rather carry these people that are seen as like not as big of threats or like, you know, as more outcasts rather than like she called that 3 like the popular group plus Aaron. Those were like the popular kids. She knows that those people are going to be more successful at the swap, at the merge. They're going to be able to gather more social connections. So she put them on the bottom, and they should have seen through it, and they kind of did. But because they didn't gain that social capital with the other people on the other side, they weren't able to do anything about it.
No, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what the freshman 3 will be able to conduct. Because that name Hannah's name definitely did float around, especially from Mike and Erica, because they didn't trust her and they saw that.
She just has a very intense personality, which is like fine, but at the same time, like she has to understand that stands out, and like people are gonna be like, oh, like this girl's obviously a super fan, obviously really into it, and like she has shit in store.
Oh yeah, so we'll see. So we get a brief look of Maroon 9 for the first time, kinda. They go to brunch before this challenge while everyone else is at Tribal. And then you kind of see, that looked amazing. That Rise and Shine Diner is delicious, but I haven't been there in a year because of COVID.
So
but you see the 4 girls. Well, Jack and Andrew weren't there, but you see the 4 girls go in one car, and then it wasn't viewed, but Mitch, Eli, and Nassan go in another car. What was your view on that kind of split? And because it's a 5-4, could that be very prevalent?
Yeah, I guess I'll take this one first. I mean, I don't think it's a good move for the 4 girls to be always splitting off by themselves. Like, if they were just like intermingling and then like had a group chat, like that's the way to go about this. Like, what they did it like right away from the first challenge, where they were like, all right, the 4 girls are doing one, the 5 guys are doing the other, and then it's like after brunch, like the 4 girls like go drive in a car, and then like the 3 guys like it would be like a split of 5 guys, 4 girls would be less noticeable if those things like weren't happening. So to me, they like need to do a better job of like making sure they're in these situations like mixing between the guys and the girls. And you can see they've started to do it, and they've texted and stuff like that. So they're not doing like horrible, and they're playing around it, but I think they could, in those couple situations that I just named, like be doing slightly better of a job. But overall, like I don't think it's going to matter in the long run. I don't.
Yeah, I see that happening. First of all, I want to shout out Geneva for like having a mimosa at brunch. That was great. She was the only one. I was a little disappointed she was the only one. That was awesome.
Well, I don't know how many of them can order.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually
Geneva's a grad student.
Okay, well, also an icon. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it's a huge. I think that I was worried about it after the challenge, because that seems to be when they were like, the 4 of us are really close, and then the 5 guys who did Backstreet Boys are also really close. Like, they call themselves the Backstreet Boys. So like that was kind of seeming like that's the direction it was going to take after the first challenge. But then I think the formation of the 5-person alliance now of who is it? It's Summer, Eli. I don't remember their name.
Jack, Abby,
Andrew.
Abby, and Andrew. Yeah. So it's those 5, and I think that's the group now more so than it is the guys and the girls. And then I think the girls still, like Summer and Abby, still do have Daisy and Geneva kind of on standby. And I think I think they have them on standby more so than Andrew, Jack, and Eli have Mitch and Nassan on standby. So I think Summer and Abby are in very powerful positions on the tribe right now.
Yeah, at first I was really excited for this alliance. Hi, Geneva. Oh, she's 25 now. Oh, go, Geneva.
Okay, Geneva.
We do love mimosas.
At first I was excited for the girls to work together because, of course, they're in the minority. It's good to see them trying to push and not just like lay down and die if those lines actually did happen. But like, I think especially eventually we see Abby and Summer kind of mixing things up and trying to gain that divide. But I feel like in this scene specifically, the girls are talking about like, oh, let's flip a guy. And I think Geneva and Daisy are maybe riding on that a little more until later in this episode, whereas the others are trying to make different things happen. But it's like, why would a guy try and flip into alliance of 4 girls that maybe are telling this guy like, oh, they feel nervous, or like, oh, we're trying to make things happen? Like, that's the same idea as like a standard gender divide, except said guy is on the bottom. So it's really in the girl's best interest to not be girl power, let's unite, and like you guys have said, and just to really have a mix, or just play like naturally, like don't make it a gender thing. And I think Abby, Summer did a good job at making something happen this episode with that group of 5 that seems to have formed.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, because you guys are right, and great insight, Aaron, catching that Abby and Summer kind of are in this, like, they have both connections with the two girls, Geneva and Daisy, and then they also have that guys thing with Jack, Andrew, and Eli. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go and see what happens with everything if Maroon 9 ever goes to Tribal. We'll see. Speaking of Tribal, that challenge, the hardest challenge to edit. We have some hosts here. You can tell those challenges like that is just so hard to edit. So we got in those little brief quotes. Basically, it was just a get to know your tribe challenge. And we thought it would be a good idea to have it second challenge because one tribe would be seeing each other a lot. One tribe didn't have to see each other, but also 30 minutes beforehand, I get a vlog that they went to brunch. So I'm like, oh, all right. You guys' view on that challenge?
I have a question for you, Luke, about that. So you did it so the tribe that had a one less person had, like, some people have, like, an extra question to even out, like, the point spread.
Yeah.
But why didn't you have someone sit out? Was it just because of the nature of the challenge that would kind of spoil the challenge? Or?
Yeah, we kind of decided that it was better that someone not sit out for that challenge.
Yeah, and it's also better, like, so as many people could participate as possible,
Yeah, we want to be inclusive to the people. We never like having people sit out, even better.
We really like fudge around with stuff just so people don't sit out because we feel bad.
Yeah.
That's great.
I really like the concept of the challenge. Like, Survivor is all about, like, relationships and knowing people, like, on a personal level and connecting so that they don't want to vote you out, right? So, like, this, it goes a lot to show, like, these players that, like, yes, like, start making these relationships, like, now, like, get to know your tribe mates. That's what's going to help you in the game. And also, as someone who's playing, you can kind of see who isn't paying attention to other people and who does know their stuff about everybody else. Like, who is talking to people. Like, the people that scored higher are the ones that, like, are clearly texting and, like, getting to know other people more. So I thought that was the more unique part of the challenge, and kind of, like, you could start to see maybe who was involved and in the center of their tribe socially.
That's really
I completely agree. Yeah, I thought it was really cool how you kind of revealed the scores one by one of, like, who scored how much. And I think there was, like, a lack of conversation, like, in people's confessionals about, like, how people did in that challenge. Because I completely agree, like, whether it is, like, people who scored more, whether that is them being, like, more in the locus of the social game, or if it's just them being more perceptive. But either way, I think that should be noticeable when somebody scores high, and it should also be noticeable when somebody scores low, and be like, oh, I've talked with this person a bunch. Why don't they know shit about anybody? Like, I would mark that as a red flag and be like, maybe they're not really paying attention. Maybe they don't really, they're not invested. Maybe they don't really care about me or my relationship, anything like that.
Yeah, like Addie 1 out of 5.
Yeah, Addie got 1 out of 5. And that was kind of a big chip, and that's why he kind of, thought it was just gonna be that, because she did do that poorly.
Because sometimes I feel like the tribe goes, like, super, like, how well does someone do in a challenge oriented, or sometimes they just take it another way,
No, yeah, it's definitely interesting. So we see Maroon 9 win again, and then we see them draw the snakes. Megan and Addie draw the snake off camera, but we see Erica walk away with the snake this week. I kind of wanted we got Ethan, Anders, and Jake's view on the twist. What was your guys' view on the twist? Because we see from this week, it's kind of different than last week. They kind of had it kind of, like, settled out, like, oh, we're just going to reveal it straight away. Yeah,
I love the twist. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great idea. I hate the way that they're playing it. I think the way that they're playing it is entirely stupid. Like, it's no, 100%. Like, it's like, oh, we don't want to vote this person out just because they said they're the snake. Why not? You're losing challenges. If you vote this person out, you have a much better chance of winning that next challenge. So why would you not take that? And especially if that person is now in this, like, minority 3 who is, like, on the bottom, why would you not take that advantage? You're literally giving them an individual advantage in this game down the line. Like, they just handed Derek a double apple? That's insane. Like, are you kidding? I think it's so stupid that they can just reveal themselves and everybody's like, well, I don't care. We won't take the challenge advantage.
I want to talk about Derek and this double vote thing. I feel like or double idol. So Derek gets this, and so I wasn't sure that he would even accept it because I thought if you're on the bottom the first week, he knew he was like maybe a target, and things like flipped last minute. And so I was like, is Derek gonna take this advantage and just further cement himself like as like a threat? So he takes it. And then the tribe all knows that Derek, I believe it's, I believe it's like a player will enter the game that was one of the judges from the beginning, and if both of those players make the merge, they get a double idol. So I was unsure why the players didn't find that as a reason to vote out Derek, because then they don't have to deal with that, and then when this returning player enters the merge, they're a little less safe because they have this easy ally in Derek. Because why wouldn't you like at least kind of want to work with the guy that can just give you immunity for a round? And Derek's already in the minority, so I mean, why is Noah like that much worse? I mean, Noah seemed like a nice guy. I don't know.
Personally, I would have been pissed off at this tribe if they would have voted Derek out this week and like for taking that advantage, because they could have just voted him out last week and gained an advantage in the challenge. So I think it would have been a very bad look for them to vote out Derek this week after he takes that advantage. Like, I don't think
that makes sense.
No, yeah, it was so like, I was there like filming Derek read off the thing, and like he was reading it off. Everyone was shocked, and I was like, oh shit, like Derek's the big target again. But no, it exactly didn't go that way, and it was just like eye-opening that they right after that they revealed everyone's envelopes and all that, and it's just worked like that for this week. So I don't know, we'll see how it plays out, I guess. I mean, Austin had a good saying it, I think at Tribal or last week, where it's like it could be used as a bargaining chip, but it also could be used if you're down against your back and you have to win a challenge. So it's gonna be, I like the twist.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to like utilize it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Almost to the point where it can be confusing for the players at times, but like in a way, it's a good amount of complexity in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely has Among Us kind of great game. So what's next? What happens next? So the big idol reveal. So we get a more look at Maroon 9, and we get a look at Nissan, the king of vertical confessionals and vlogs. But it's fine. So we see Nissan. He's grinding out there, hands all dirty, digging around. He like literally had a class too, and I know he searched from before the class and then after the class, and then he found it. And then next thing you know, he's at a thrift store, same day, buying a fake, using the same packaging, and then hiding it there, all before the snow falls down. So what was your guys' view on Nissan and that idol find?
It was great. Like, we haven't seen a lot from him, so like that being like kind of his that's like his thing at this point through 2 episodes. It's just like he has the idol. Like, we just don't know much more about him. But like he might be needing that thing soon if they go to Tribal, because like it doesn't look like, besides like the Backstreet Boys, like it doesn't look like he's too socially integrated. So if they end up going to Tribal, it could 100% be useful, like right away.
Yeah, I think he took the exact necessary steps that he should have, like right after he found it. Because yeah, you should put, like, especially if you find it that early on, you should put a fake there so that anybody else that stumbles upon that location isn't going to think that you already have it. And you can't assume that the next person is going to do the same thing. So now that Daisy thinks she has the idol, like, she's not going to plant a fake idol there, you know? She's going to, at least I don't see her doing that. I doubt that's going to happen. So if anybody else,
Hannah.
if anybody else goes to that spot and sees that it's gone, they're going to be like, oh, somebody has this. And now all of the girls think it's Daisy. And I think that also plays super well for Nissan, because there's not going to be any inkling that he has it, because everybody thinks that it's Daisy. Also, please tell me you told him to start filming horizontally.
I did.
Miss Tanya,
What a guy. I'm pretty sure he was hot too.
I was super excited to see him find it. I feel like it's always like a little bit of a bummer when the person that's either in the big majority or has a ton of control in the tribe is also the one who finds the idol, because then you're like, well, it's probably not getting used anytime soon, if this person is like one of the best players in the game. The best players are the ones that don't need to use the idols. That doesn't cause the mix-up. So I feel like him as someone who's maybe not as on the ins, if he can catch word at some point soon, and if he's in trouble, we might see someone who is a bit of a bigger, bolder threat on Maroon 9 go out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So next we see Summer and Abby. They're chilling in their car, waiting for this idol clue. They talk to Jack. They form that option of the alliance with Jack, Eli, and Andrew. And then they see Daisy strolling out of her dorm, going to find the idol from the idol clue. And Geneva also joins throughout that. And they all search for it. Daisy ends up finding it, but it's a fake. What was your guys' reaction to how that all played out?
That's one of two accidental like sightings this episode, right? Because we also had the group from the Zeleny tribe in the elevator getting sighted by Derek. So that's one of two of those. I like, that's insane to me that it happens that much. It's always such a fear when you're playing that somebody is going to stumble upon you having a meeting. Or like, was it this episode or was it last episode where like somebody's friend overheard? Like, I think it was Derek's friend overheard his name being thrown out. That is so scary. Like, public meetings are terrifying. First of all,
that's why when like last episode when Aaron and all of them wrote down in big ass font their like elimination order, I'm like, what is going on? You're like dining. You're in a dorm room. Everyone can see that.
Insane. But yeah, as far as like, I think Daisy finding that idol, like, I'm sure she's super excited. You know, we all are when we think we've found idols. But I don't think having a fake idol is not knowing it's fake is one of the worst things that can happen. Because now you feel this sense of confidence. You feel this security blanket that you don't actually have. So it encourages you to play a little bit more recklessly. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to see from Daisy moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see. I think the big thing, the possible takeaway is, like, is this going to help that group of girls, like, stick together and be kind of like a bonding force? Or is this eventually going to start, like they're kind of already in their two little pairs? Is that going to, like, drive a wedge between them? So I think that is, like, the key takeaway to watch from this.
Well, they did, like, her and Geneva did bring Summer and Abby to, like, where they found it and everything, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So speak about fake idols. That is the second fake idol in, I think it was like, 8 days of the season.
Crazy.
So Mike found Hannah's and now Daisy found Hassan. So we'll see how that plays out. And then we get a nice little funny scenario with Mitch Vargas and Hannah Dolan. What was not seen in this clip actually is Hannah actually sent in a vlog. I don't know what happened from it, but Hannah sent in a vlog that she was going to go idol hunting with Mitch, but also bring a fake idol with her to try to plant so Mitch can find that fake idol. And Mitch already knew that Daisy found the idol. So they were just in the snow for 2 hours.
Playing each other.
Just trying to play each other. And I don't think anything came from it. Just some funny content. But
amazing.
Yeah.
Did they have a prior relationship or were they
Yes. Can I ask, how did the two of them end up?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Okay, Mitch is here.
Yeah, Mitch is here. Okay, tell us.
Tell us the prior relationship.
I did know her before, and that's all.
They knew They knew of each other
Yeah,
before. I think they had a mutual friend who was her roommate.
They were friends of friends.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like they recognized each other from day one, and then they had this meeting.
Okay.
Well, Sorry.
Yeah, that was absolutely my favorite part of the episode, was that little Snow dynamic. I thought those were the most opposite people in the cast. Hannah is like bouncing off the wall, can't like stop herself from throwing 10 more fake idols. Apparently there was even one not mentioned. And Mitch, I mean, I don't know Mitch. I know he's in the background. He gives off the biggest stoner vibes of anyone I've ever seen on College Survivor. Like, and I love it for him. And those two just seem like such polar opposites, and they were just kind of they didn't do anything really in the episode. They just dug around the snow. Hannah had her giant shovel that she was like picking at shit with.
Mitch was essentially just like, let this girl get frostbite.
Mitch was just offering the play-by-play. I don't think he even looked once.
Yeah, Mitch was just like, this girl's wilding out. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy.
Oh man, it's just like crazy dynamic.
I love it.
But what happens next? So then we get into the kind of the meat and bones into the episode. We see Erica. She seems safe because they don't want to butt at the snake. See Derek is like, no one really points as like a threat. Everyone likes each other. This is kind of a hard vote. And then we see Hannah, and she has the ability to, as you guys says, go back to Erica, the freshman three pretty much. Erica, Mike, and Erica, Mike, Austin, and also bring in Meg, and then have that meeting of 5. What do you think about that 5 and Hannah's ability to get back into that?
I mean, good for her, like I said earlier, in the sense that like she's clearly good at doing damage control and like playing the middle, but like in this season where like somebody on your tribe is gonna get an advantage basically every round, because like here my whole thing is if it's public basically who is the snake, like there is no point in not going to take your advantage, right? Like if people already know, like you're gonna go take it, like that's just gonna happen. So there's no reason for her to be swinging back and forth, but doing it like and not then voting out the snake. All you're doing is now you have these two like separate sides. Each of them are going to have an advantage. So like somebody in the minority has an advantage. Like pick a side, and if your side like has the snake, like stick to it, and you have an advantage for your team. And if somebody on the other side is the snake and like outs themselves, vote them out, because that's an advantage again for your people. Like so that is how you should be doing this. So props to her for being able to like swing both ways and make both sides happy, but like given this season and the twist, like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, to me with the snake twist, if you're in the majority, you can reveal it if you're comfortable with those numbers to certain, maybe not the whole group, but to certain people, and be like, hey, I have this advantage. We're gonna do well this round. We don't have to worry about like targeting anyone like specific. We can just roll with what we want, vote this person out, whatever. If you're in the minority, you don't want anyone to know you have the snake advantage, because if I would vote out the person in the minority with the snake, like Cooper said, you're getting that challenge advantage. This tribe is losing challenges. I mean, they're in the minority anyways. Like, obviously, there's a lot of social politics to it, and I think the reason the vibes I get is that Noah was not doing as well socially as Derek and Erica, and that was a big factor, because strategically, like pure strategically, I think Erica and Derek are just should be bigger targets because of all the snake related stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's so interesting where like Meg factors into all of this too. I think it's so funny that Hannah like came out immediately, first confessional. She's like, we got to get Meg out of here. And now Meg is basically her closest ally. Like she's the one that's swinging back and forth with her. She's the one that she's going to carry along. So what I thought was really smart in episode 1 is that Hannah was like, she planted herself in the middle. What she could have done is go with that freshman group and like then placed Meg on the bottom. That's exactly what she could have done, and I thought that would have been genius. That would have been a fantastic move. You take out the snake, and you plant this person that you wanted on the bottom.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. But then the fact that she went with that side to take out Aaron, and they're like, oh, he's a big threat. It's the first vote of the game. Who cares?
Exactly.
Utilize him.
It's just like getting out Mitch in Survivor Anarchy, the biggest threat.
That's exactly the same.
Number one on the power rankings.
Should have been Aaron. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
The-
bitch.
One of the big
I'm kidding.
One of the big things in Survivor, especially that early, is if everyone is so willing to turn on Aaron as they were, he's not actually that big of a threat, because that means you can turn on him whenever. I mean, he might become, if he's like not very liked, like a go to your thing where later goats don't want to turn on him. But I think there's the opposite dynamic in the merge. If someone's this huge threat to win the game and it's final 10 and everyone's down to vote for him, they're not really that big of threat because you can vote them out at mostly whatever time. Like usually that's why a lot of those threats, like giant over the top threats, get cut around 7, 6, 5 because like they're close enough to the end that you don't want them to get there, but like it's an easy vote usually. Shout out to Ethan.
Shout out to Ethan. Yeah, so that's a good thing to bring up, Ryan. Especially with the threat level of this game. So we'll get into that later with Hannah, but we see also with Austin that he's worried because essentially those 3 were left out of the vote until very last minute. And he's like, oh, if Addie has the gumption to pull these numbers and bring along Hannah, gumption, yes, that's a good word. Like the amount Addie can pull is scary. What do you guys think about Addie? She also was the person who brings up Noah's vote in the first place and tells Mike. What do you guys think about Addie in this?
I was high on, yeah, you go.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like Addie a lot. I think that she has good intuition. I just don't know, like I don't know, because I didn't get to kind of see that conversation between her and Hannah. I don't know whether like Hannah went in intentionally planning to like say everything to Addie in episode 1 and like spill everything and make that all happen, or if Addie kind of coerced that out of her or pulled that out of her. Like I don't know what the dynamic is there, because here's the thing, in that relationship, it's only one of those 2 in the power position. And what it's looking like is that it's Hannah. So she could have fully gone against Addie. But if she feels close to her, if she wants to keep Addie around, then Addie's in a fantastic spot. Because clearly, if you're close with Hannah, she's not going to flip anybody against you. And she's like planted herself in the power position of this tribe, and nobody's really stopping her. The freshmen 3 want to. But at this point, now that Noah's gone, like who are they going to get to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm vibing with Addie's position. I think she's close with Hannah. Hannah seems to be in control right now. She seems to have some connections that she's doing well. And like, if there is this resistance that I think Mike was talking about, thinking about, Hannah's going to take the hit and not Addie, which is always good. It's always good to have a nice close ally that when the numbers don't go your way, they take that hit for you. So, and then you have time to bounce back.
No, yeah. The revolution is almost. Oh, Cooper, you want to go?
I was just going to add that I think another reason she's in a good position right now is the only way she's going to get targeted is if that like group of 5 like comes back together like officially and starts like going after people, leaving like her and Derek on the bottom. And they're not going to just take out Addie and just leave Derek on the bottom with the advantage he has. Like, that's not happening. That just doesn't make any sense. So that is another reason she's just, like, in a fine position for now, at least.
Oh, yeah. We'll see, like, because we have the freshman 3. You guys are reading it perfectly. And then we have Hannah, and we have Addie, Derek, Meg, pretty much. And then there's Meg kind of worked in there as well. So we'll definitely see, because you guys saw it. The revolution almost happened. With Mike knowing that Hannah has her pockets in everyone, but they need Hannah because she's their number. I said that weird, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So we get to tribal council. Well, how was that fake out? That's a good question. Do you guys think that it could have been Hannah if Mike, Austin, and Erica rallied the numbers and talked to Derek?
I think if they had any sort of prior established social connection with Derek or Noah or Addie, maybe it could have happened. Maybe not Addie, because Addie and Hannah are close, but if they could have rallied Noah. I think he would have been way more likely than Derek because they were targeting Derek last week. So why would he vote with them? So I think the one person that they should have tried to rally would have been Noah. But then at that point, the best that they can really hope for is a tie. So I don't think that there was honestly a way for them to rally those numbers.
Yeah, it would have had to have been Derek and Noah. And I think this did get kind of mentioned. They basically were like, we'd have to get Noah on board by saying it's you unless you come with us. And then at that point, you have to go to Derek and be like, hey, it's 4 out of 8 and we're like not breaking. So you should just come with us. Like that would have been the way to go about that. Like they would have had to like really put their foot down, which I just don't know if they would have been willing to do. So it would have been tough.
So
you go.
No, you got it.
I thought it was the right idea, but the numbers weren't there. It's harder to make those kinds of flips in an even numbered round. So like we had 4, you need 5. It's a lot harder to get 5 out of 8 than 4 out of 7, obviously. So I think the right idea was there. There was a string of relationships that could make it happen, but it's sometimes that string just can't communicate, especially in College Survivor. I feel like, and it takes maybe a little more time and a little more hard work for that to happen. Plus, I mean, I don't really know where Noah was at this episode. I gotta say, I'm glad we got to hear from him, but I feel like there were so many reasons that Noah could have stayed, but he didn't really do much, which is just kind of how it goes sometimes. So that's fair.
No, yeah.
I think like it was a low key a little bit of laziness on his part. I don't know, like he like came. I remember he like came to Tribal a little bit early and like felt super like he was the first one to show up, and we are just sitting there, ready to like do whatever. And he sort of gave off this energy where he was like super confident that he like wasn't going, and like I just think that he thought that like the standard of talking to people was like lower than what he was doing. So he thought he was super comfortable, but he just didn't know how hard everyone else was going. And then that resulted in him just being less connected to everybody. And like that's what happened.
Yeah.
Did we see who gave him Addie's name at all?
What was that?
Did we see who gave him Addie's name? Because like he wrote down Abby at Tribal.
Yeah.
I think he asked Mike, and then Mike gave him his name.
That makes sense. I forget, but
okay. Well, even if it was just like one, like if it was just one person,
I think it was also like it might have been.
He was on like there's wasn't putting in the effort. Like I'm sorry, I'm not like I could kind of see it. Like he was always just like hanging out with his friends, whatever. Like he didn't seem super invested in the game, and I think that really showed. I think. Like, yeah, Maroon 9 even, like, somebody on that tribe even said, like, 2 of them didn't even show up to this challenge. Like, do they really even care? And I'm kind of getting that vibe as well, where the Zeleny tribe, like, I wouldn't say overall, because I know that at least, like, that freshman 3, obviously Hannah, and then I think Addie and Derek as well. Like, everybody that's left is invested in this game and does care. But I think that I didn't really see that from Noah. So I'm not entirely sad that he's gone, but I do think it would have been cool to see the freshman 3 rally the numbers to get out Hannah.
No, yeah. I love Noah personally. He's a good friend of mine. He's kind of just that guy who's just like, he was there to have fun, and he didn't realize like how intense it got from the start, especially with the first vote being that quick suddenly. And he got a kick out of it because he like said, oh, we started the revolution, a coup. But then afterwards, like after another loss, he was kind of like he didn't really do much.
He was sad, like,
and I kind of just saw that he was like didn't talk to many people.
I wasn't really expecting like that much emotion out of him, like in his little like post being voted out confessional. Like,
yeah,
I just would not like. Just also like I know him like a little bit like outside of like being a Survivor, and I was just like very surprised that he would show like that much like emotion and like being that upset. Like I just didn't think like he seemed like he didn't have that much investment in the game, but then like seeing his emotion, I was like, oh wow, like I guess you maybe were a little bit more invested than like people thought,
It hurts regardless of how much time you're putting in, especially like a unanimous early boot. You get this vibe that like people don't like you, which is absolutely not always true. It's just kind of like he was less invested in the strategic portion of the game, and people were probably like, yeah, I mean, he's not of value to me in my future going forward. But like, he seemed like a nice guy from the clips I saw. He seemed like someone I liked.
Everyone loved him. He kind of reminded me of Curtis from season 1 of Survivor Syracuse, and that's like he said in his exit video because him and Curtis were like best friends. He was like, "I'm sad that I didn't get past Curtis placement." So yeah, he's also big Total Drama fan. I'm trying to get him. Yeah. Oh, he is actually joined us.
Is he on here?
He is on here. So we get a
yes. I did that again. Oh, Noah, what's up?
Oh, what's up, man?
Bro,
glad you can make it.
Luke's trying to get me. I was on my laptop. I couldn't join on that. So
yeah, I don't know what's happening with PC, but we kind of just want to see your side of the vote and kind of like what happened throughout that week, basically.
Which vote? My vote getting out?
Yeah, your vote getting out.
It's funny that you bring this up because my sister was just she's watching it right now, and she's like, oh, I don't know. She was like, if you get out in the second episode or whatever, I'm gonna be upset. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but I don't know. I don't really remember too much what happened. Honestly, it's what didn't happen is the only reason why I got voted out. Like, if I'm being honest, I didn't think people were going to take, like, Survivor overall, like, in terms of the early game, as serious as they had, and I guess I was just, like, behind. I don't know. I was kind of just naive about it, so.
Oh, yeah. Man was too busy making TikToks.
Bro, I was making no TikToks then. I don't know what you mean.
People came in like playing so hard. Like Hannah's like a great example, and I feel like someone who is sort of just going in as a more like nonchalant vibe as Noah. It's just harder to like assert yourself and like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also like even what I said before. I started even playing the Survivor thing. I've never even watched Survivor. I've only ever watched like Total Drama Island, Lost. The show Lost. Like,
the show Lost.
Total Drama, yes. Lost. I'm not so sure we're on the same page.
It's got the same vibes. The island vibes.
The island vibes are there. It's true.
So this is the sad part because we were all sad when Noah got out because he added such a different element to this tribe of that like chill person.
Yeah, that's so true. Like Noah was like the nonchalant, like laid back, like.
Bro, that's what got me though.
Yeah, true. They were like being really head ass in that way.
They're like, hey, yeah, this kid doesn't care. Let's just vote him out, even though I did nothing wrong. I even won them a challenge. What did they do?
and then you were like sad boy afterwards, which is understandable.
What did they do? Like conspire,
strategize. This is Noah in a nutshell. Like we love him to death, though.
I appreciate it.
You guys have any questions for Noah?
I guess what we were saying before. Who told you about the Addy vote? Was that Mike? Like
about the Addy vote?
Yeah, because you voted for Addy. So who told you like that was the move?
Who did tell me? I think it was okay. I honestly like from an objective standpoint after the second challenge, I wanted to vote her out just because like I didn't want to knock her because she wasn't there, but I felt she did. I guess I did. That did influence my vote. She wasn't there, but she also didn't do like amazing on the second challenge too. So from an objective standpoint of somebody who I didn't want to be mean to anyone. I didn't want to be like, oh, like I'm gonna vote this kid out because he's sus. I just thought, because we had met, and I don't know how much you guys have seen, but wait, have they seen the second episode? Or
yeah, that's what.
Okay.
Post episode talk,
bro.
I don't know if you could tell, but it's apparent to everyone that you're no longer in the season.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, Erica, we knew Erica had the snake, and I didn't want to vote her out just because she had the snake, because I didn't want to establish like that precedent that we're just gonna, if you have the snake, we're gonna vote you out or whatever.
Okay, but I'm sorry if I can cut in. If you want to win the next challenge, why would you not vote out the snake? If that's your goal, if that's why you're voting for out, and you're trying to win that next challenge, why not vote up the snake to gain that advantage?
Bro, I don't know. I was just trying to be nice, I guess. Like, yeah. That's exactly why I got out so early, right? But I think that literally the night before I had talked to, or like briefly texted Austin, maybe Mike and Erica, I think, and they were all saying like, yeah, we're probably just gonna vote out Addie, and I was sold. So I was gonna do it anyway. I didn't really know who to vote for. I feel like to me, I thought everybody else was just as like torn or confused, but clearly that wasn't the case. So that's how it played out.
Yeah, Noah was set up for the social game. He just did not have the social game.
Hate
Yeah.
to see it.
I will give you a shout out for being a Michigan fan, though.
Oh,
He is
true.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Oh.
This is a big reason why I got 2 Michigan people on here.
Oh, let's go.
Noah is a big Michigan football fan.
That's an understatement.
Love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, thank you, Noah, once again. And yeah,
Oh, thank you, Luke. I appreciate it.
have a good night, man.
Peace, dude.
Yeah.
What a good guy. What a good
Amazing
guy.
opinion.
That's Noah. But yeah, so Noah gets eliminated, second person out of the season. Thank you, Jack. But what do you? Let me poll you guys. What do you think is going to happen next? So we get a kind of a little bit of a preview. We see Nassan and Geneva. We see Mitch and Daisy. I forget what else we see. We see some other stuff. We see those 2, which we've never seen before. What do you guys think we're seeing next from the episodes?
Personally, I'm hoping for a Maroon 9 loss, just so that we can kind of see some dynamics of that tribe, just so that we can, it's never fun when one tribe doesn't go to tribal. Like, that's not fun to watch. You don't want to see one tribe get torn down. I don't really want to see anybody else on Zeleny go home. Not that I want to see anybody on Maroon 9 go home necessarily either, but I just want them to go to tribal. I want them to have to play this game. And I think it's interesting that we do see those pairs kind of talking in those previews of, Geneva and Nassan, and then Mitch and Daisy, because those are the 4 people on the bottom. Those are the 4 people not in this 5-person alliance. In my opinion, the target's going to be on either Mitch or Nassan, because those are the ones not in the 5-person alliance. The Backstreet Boys are not as close as the 4 girls. So I do think like the target's going to be on one of them, and then Nassan does have his idol. So I'd like to see a Maroon 9 tribal. I'd like to see some dynamics happen there. Should be very exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, ditto to everything Aaron said about Maroon 9. I think that that minority of 4 with the idol communicating the next episode looks promising to. I wouldn't say a shakeup, because it's not like the alliance of 5 has actually voted together yet, but like some fireworks. It could be fun. So I'm looking forward to hopefully that tribe going to tribal. As for Zeleny, Zeleny, right?
Yeah, Zeleny. It took me 2 weeks to get it down.
You were saying it wrong.
Yeah, Salami. Better than base.
Oh, wait. I just thought of something. Hold on. Oh, I like. Wait. I wanted to comment. I just thought this. I wrote this down. I liked how Jack in the episode said Zeleny is such a weird tribe name when his tribe's name is Maroon 9. Like they have like an actual attempt at a tribe name at least. You guys are Maroon 9. Zeleny's great. It sounds like tribal and like survivory. I like it. Maroon 9. I don't know. I just really want to see them called Maroon 8. I want the change. But to get back to things, what was that?
I think he froze.
Did I freeze? Rip. Okay.
Cooper, you want to say something?
I think I basically just agree with a lot of what Aaron said. Like I'm also hoping that Maroon 9 loses. I kind of want to see the dynamics over there, because something's gonna have to give. Like everybody is connected somehow a little bit, so like something's gonna have to give over there. So I'm curious what would end up happening and kind of who takes power over there.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So before we end this off, I love doing this. I did this for Anders and Ethan last week. I think they both said Daisy, and now that she has a fake idol, we'll see what happens there. So what are your guys' winners pick, and who do you think is out next?
Whew, for out next, that's tough, but I feel like there's some like Maroon 9. It's kind of up in the air, but it could be one of those 4. But with an idol in play, it could be anyone. I feel like with Zeleny, I don't love Derek's positioning. I feel like he's like a big character early on, but he's like barely scraping by. Like I'm just very unsure about Derek's like long term in this game. I like it because I like hearing from him, but I feel like I could see Derek going soon.
I think Luke might be frozen, but Cooper, do you have your answers?
I don't. I'm gonna wing it as I talk it through. Oh, lovely.
Okay, I have mine.
Yeah.
So I can go before you because I do my answers.
Go for it. I need like 10 more seconds to think.
Okay, so Ryan, did you say your winner pick?
No, that was my winner pick. I'm between Erica and Austin. I'm gonna throw one on Austin. I feel really good about that freshman 3. I feel like even though they're like a little worried about the dynamics of their tribe, they have a pulse on it and they're not like in danger anytime soon. You don't have to be the most empowered in your starting tribe to have a viable game. That's really not important. If anything, it's best to not be the person with the most options on the starting tribe because people will start to recognize that. I like Austin, Eric, like not being fully in control, but Erica, not Eric. But I'm going to go with Austin.
Okay. So I'm going to say Summer as my winner pick, personally. I think that she's in a great spot. I think she's doing a great job. As far as next out, also, Luke is texting. One of us has become the host, so if somebody can try to let Luke in.
Shit.
So
I don't think it's me.
It's not me. I don't see him.
I don't see him.
I'm on my phone, but I don't see him either.
Okay. Anyway.
We're the showrunners now.
I'm going to go for Summer as my winner pick, and then out next on Maroon 9. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm going to say Mitch, just because I do think it's him or Nassan, and Nassan has his idol. So I am going to go for Mitch. It's either... okay, Luke says his laptop died, so it's our show now. We can close this out. But I'm going to say...
Let's go.
It's either Mitch or Nassan, and Nassan might go home with an idol in his pocket. That could happen. But I'm going to go for Mitch as the next out for Zeleny. As far as as for Maroon 9, and then for Zeleny, oh my God. Yeah, I think it would be Derek. I agree with Ryan because I think that the freshman 3 doesn't have any social pull with people on the other side. The person with the most social pull for Meg is Hannah. So she's the connection between the freshman 3 and Meg. And so she's going to want to keep Addie around, and I think that it would be Derek on Zeleny.
Interesting. I'm going to go with a hot take, and I'm going to say I think they're going to start targeting Hannah, that same freshman group of 3, and I think she's going to pull together Meg and Addie and Derek and vote one of them out. So I actually don't know that they're in an amazing position. I think they could be fine, but I think they also could be in trouble. We also saw the rumblings of them starting to go for Hannah. So I'm going to say that I think they would go after probably Erica after seeing what her advantage is. So I'm going to say Erica is actually out next. And let's see, my winner pick, I'm literally still undecided. I'm still undecided.
You have to pick someone.
Yeah,
I
that's what this is
actually,
about.
I actually really like Meg's
Hey,
position.
Meg.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I heard more from Meg, I would really like Meg's position. Honestly, I like
am
her
also-
positioning from what I know. But
Interesting.
Yep. I'm gonna go out on a limb and get with my winner pick as well, and I'm gonna put my money on Meg. I just think nobody's ever really gonna throw her name out. I just think she's has the ability to kind of just be friends with people and make everybody happy and make everybody think she's working with them. And I don't see anybody coming after her in the near future. So
did you just steal Enzo's final speech? Is that what you just did?
What?
You just said Enzo's final speech from last night.
I'm
I
back.
didn't go after anybody, yo. We were all together, yo.
Here are our picks.
What's up, Luke?
My winner pick is not Aaron, anyone but Aaron. I think it should be. No, I'm kidding.
Is it Anders? That's a fine pick. I get it.
No, my winner's pick is Zach Rosenthal. I'm sorry. I don't always use Zach's name, but but anyways, I heard your guys' winners picks and your hot takes. So interesting to see how those plays out. I have them written down, so we'll see. Last but not least, I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys, and in doing so, I want to give you guys an opportunity to just shout out your Instas or anything you got going on. And I don't know how to do this, but
he just featured himself.
You made yourself big.
All right, there we go.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the host of Survivor Yukon. So Survivor Yukon Season 2 is currently airing right now. It's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and we have our own sort of live show right after. But Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Survivor Yukon channel, we have episode 5 coming out next week. Things are definitely heating up, and we're looking forward to a great season. And follow us on our social media and check out some more great College Survivor.
Oh yeah, stellar season. Aaron is up next.
Okay. I am Erin. I'm from Survivor Michigan. You can follow us at Survivor UMich on most social media. So please do that. If you want to follow me specifically, I'm at eSikri on Twitter. So feel free to do that. And I will also plug, I am on the Survivor Maryland Major Conflict live shows every Monday at 9 p.m. That is a great season that's going on as well. Would definitely recommend watching that. Maryland Mondays, you've got Syracuse on Thursdays. I know UConn's coming out right now as well. So lots of Survivor to eat up throughout the week in lieu of CBS Survivor not happening right now. So definitely a lot to watch. And that's my plug.
Damn. Said it like a true host. I like that. And Cooper, last but not least.
Cool. Well, I will just plug Survivor Michigan's Twitter and Instagram. I believe they're both at Survivor UMich. Other than that, you know what? I'm going to go out and plug some other college survivors. Survivor UVA is airing right now. Absolutely fantastic season. Go watch that. They're doing a great job. And Survivor Boston, I believe it's their 3rd or 4th season. I actually forget what. I think it's 4. That's also coming out soon. So you know what? I'm just going to plug some other college survivors with my time because Survivor Michigan Season 4 is in the future, near-ish future, but we don't really have a set time for it yet. So that's the update there.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you. And if you haven't watched Season 3 yet, oh, why am I so big? Definitely go and watch that because Aaron is so
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys once again. This has been a blast. Love this every week. Get ready for another good episode next week and a great season. Really happy for what you guys have in store. For next week, same format, Thursday 7 for the episode. And then Thursday at 9, we have Paul Levine, a Season 1 Survivor Syracuse player, Valentina Velasquez herself, Lil V, and Nick from Ball Viver coming on. So that's a start cast for next week. And then, yeah, We sure we'll have these faces on again later on in the season once things get juicier and stuff like that. So thank you guys once again. And yeah, have a good night.
Thanks for having us, Luke.
Thank you.